Hey everyone, 30 years after I first held my first dwarf, probably about the same, a bit less than I got my first white dwarf. Probably 28 years since I got my first models myself. I'm finally at Warhammer World. And it feels a bit weird to be here because when you're driving here, it's literally just like in an industrial state. But I'll take some footage and show you in a second. It's definitely something else as well. There's like a full size rhino outside, as I'm sure lots of you have seen before. The Space Marine. It's just kind of weird that like from this little hub, you know, this IP was created, or nearby here anyway, manufacturing wise. That there's tens, maybe hundreds of millions of people in the world know of. It's a massively valuable company. So many good experiences, and yeah, just something that's so close to a lot of people's hearts, I suppose, is, and its HQ is here. It's kind of weird actually, just while I'm sitting here, there's on that rhino, there's like a full real, I think it's real scale, like storm bolter on top of the rhino, and it's like, wow, I've made so many of those in model form and painted them over the years, like from like 25 years ago through to now. And it's kind of a little surreal, to be honest, to see it like for real. It's busy. Like the car park's pretty much full. I thought it would be. I mean, it's just a Thursday. I thought it would be fairly quiet. So yeah, I think I haven't done too much research into what's even here. I know there's models, and I know there's a bar slash restaurant. But I've just deliberately kept. Sometimes I like to like not research things too much, so it's a bit of a surprise when I go. And this is one of those things. I've heard that I'm allowed to film inside, but we'll see. Um, yeah, let's have a look. So straight off, I wasn't allowed to film inside, which probably isn't a surprise to many of you. The guy's very friendly at reception, kind of chatted about the hobby and things a bit, and what my background is. Here's kind of some of the stuff you see when you first go in. There's those two busts that are phenomenal. That old Orc Wyvern from 1984, which is actually when I was born. And you've got just massive dioramas to sort of greet you. This one is absolutely awesome. Some I think that's High Fleet Behemoth, is it? That's the colour of my Tyranids as well. Storming. I think some Space Wolves. You got some explosions happening there with some Termagants getting thrown away. Amazing. Like snow scatter on dioramas just does so much to make things just look better. I recommend if any of you are thinking about it. Here's the kind of walk in. You kind of enter into almost like the shop, and there's some lot of Forge World stuff on the right, and normal Games Workshop stuff on the left. And this is like the Forge World vehicles section, I believe. There was some cool stuff in there. This is probably like the best miniature I've ever seen in the flesh painted. It's just like, wow, look at the guy. Here's an amazing Heresy Dread as well. This section was like just totally just like my childhood. Like there's so much stuff in there. Like remember my first White Dwarf had pictures of those exact models in, like 30 years ago. And I got that for Christmas because I saw that exact model. And like there's these dioramas that were just like such a cool and key part of like White Dwarf back then. And they're just like there for you to look at, and it's like £7.50 to go into the exhibition, which is basically everything that you're seeing now onwards. And honestly, come on, that's like the cost of a flipping sandwich and a drink a lot of places these days. Yeah, what's this one? This one's that loads of those ghosty Sigmar ones. Can't remember what they're called. Yeah, just they've got a big sort of history section. So this is like, that's when I first saw Warhammer as a thing, and I played battles with those exact miniatures, and that exact tech list put a hill on one of my units once. Yeah, amazing. Those are the days. Back to the sort of newer stuff. At least this is, to my reckoning, newer. I mean, it's newer than all those old monopose orcs. Dwarves, isn't it? Oh, there's the old Empire steam tanks. Yeah, well, I can't remember what these foresty ones are called, these new ones, but yeah, they were amazingly well painted. I think that's Techless now. He's best friends with a griffin or something, some magical beast. Some of those new orcs.
and one of those new orcs riding one of those new big monster things. Yeah, just incredibly well painted, really good stuff. This is a cool little diorama. It was like Nurgle party, let's call it. Look at that horrible snail with all the teeth, and there's like a little altar and like some little beasts laying sort of things there. Yeah, in the history section, all these old games, Man of War, Talisman, I think Epic as well was in there. Stuff that I never actually played, but it just looked awesome in White Dwarf when I was looking at it as a youngin'. Here, I think we've got loads of Bad Moons, orcs and goblins fighting against some what they called those olden days space marines. This is the Lord of the Rings section. Look at that mountain in the background. That looks cool. Anyway, models. Not there to look at pictures of mountains, are we? This was absolutely phenomenal diorama, like a big castle that's been overrun by Nurgle, and there's just absolutely gazillions of them pouring out. He's a pretty cool Titan with a Titan pilot and a big Abmech character in there. This was a heresy. I think it's called the Fall of Prospero, the Burning of Prospero, or something like that. Absolutely just incredible. This one had a real sort of magic to it. I think because it's like a white old stone structure, and you don't see many of the dioramas there that are like that. A lot of them are kind of destroyed battlefields, and this was more of a big kind of central building. The Burning of Prospero, yeah, that's it. Some Thousand Suns activity there, I believe. There is Mortarium, before he became 50 feet tall. Here's some Space Marines, different chapters. Just everything's just so well painted. You feel truly spoilt when you're in there, to be honest. It's really amazing. Here's some amazingly painted melter weapons. I'm gonna have to find out how to do this and do this on mine. Just so well painted, it's just like ridiculous. Here's Bobby G, doing what Bobby G does. Here's some more Nids. I love this one. That's like a flamer just straight in the face of a Tyranid warrior. Like, pretty funny. This one was really atmospheric. This is like a World War I sort of Krieg, Imperial God diorama, which was it was quite spooky with all those guardsmen there in the trenches, basically as if they're waiting to go over the top. This one was like crazy. This is like something off a Star Wars film, like Battles on Parade. I tried to take these pictures so they could feasibly be from the POV of like someone who was actually there, rather than just being like, here's a picture of a diorama. I thought I'd try and go for like almost like the perspective that you see in actual like real life army on parade pictures. Baneblades, doing some Baneblading there. I think there's Stormtroopers at the top just watching over it. I did find it a bit weird that they were totally separate from the rest of the army, but never mind. With their hotshot las guns. Here's the biggest, I think it's the biggest diorama in there. It's apparently made in, there's me in a chainsaw. Had to take a picture. Obligatory selfie, of course. Yeah, back to that massive 30-piece diorama. Just apparently this is the first time it had been put together in there because it was just too big to actually get in or assemble at another time. 3, 2, 1, and they do have some info cards in there, sort of telling you the stats, how many models are involved, how many people did it. Pretty cool. And the lighting, I think, changes colour sort of as you're in there as well, so you could sort of see it in different vibes, if you like. There's a green one on it. Terminator helmet. I did think it seemed quite small, the Terminator helmet, if I'm honest. Like, I could have definitely tried that on if it wasn't in glass. Some land speeders sort of looking like they're zipping around there. Here's some Tau defending a big Tau looking base. Look at that background. I love some of the backgrounds actually. I didn't really realise until now, sort of looking at the video. Some massive Eldar Titans there. They look so cool. Some of the Squig Hog boys. I was tempted to get some of these and sculpt some fish versions for my my pirate themed orc army. To the Squig Hogs into basically big fish. Here we have Blood Angels and Necrons. Amazing diorama, this one. I was a little bit disappointed that the flamer didn't melt the snow, like there was still snow right under the where the flamer billows were, but next time. And here's another, oh, this is my favourite thing there, the Tau Grot army. Basically, look at that. That has to be, come on, is that not the best thing you've ever seen? That Tau drone that's actually a grot, no squig, sorry. And there is an old school bit of terrain, and there's a massive Nurgling that you can take a selfie with. So I'm home now from Warhammer World, and it's kind of crazy. It's weird, like everyone just from the outside walking around the building kind of looks like they would work for Games Workshop a little bit. A lot of long hair and beards going on. What else? And just going in, the guy actually said to me that I couldn't film in there, which I thought was fair enough, to be honest. He said I could take pictures as long as it was not for profit. And also, yeah, I was just super friendly, asked about my background playing 40k or interested in Warhammer and things. I think usually when people are sometimes like surprised that I have like an interest in Warhammer when I speak to people, do you know what I mean? It's not like, it's always like they're trying to suss me out a little bit and see if I'm real or something. So yeah, just the scale of the dioramas there is just phenomenal. Crazy amount of effort. It's a spectacle. Honestly, I think it's definitely worth £7.50. £7.50. Go and have a look at the best miniatures you've ever seen, and the biggest dioramas you've ever seen, and the place where the models get made. I think it's across the road. I'm told it's across the road. Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, I was there for like less than an hour basically, and then I went and got a coffee. But you could spend absolutely ages in there. You could spend a lot longer than that if you wanted to, if you had the time. Yeah, so that's my kind of little summary on my little trip to Warhammer World. Because to be honest, over the last 6-9 months or something, like I haven't had any interest in doing any hobby stuff. Like my Warhammer room has become like my daughter's bedroom, to be honest. So I don't have that anymore. I still have a space for stuff. Like I still have my battlefield, my terrain, and things. But I've actually sold lots of my armies over the summer. I think I was just like bored of them a little bit, to be honest. But I've kept my Black Templars, most of my Orcs, my Astral Embers, which is my homebrew Space Marine chapter, and yeah. Oh, I've also bought Leviathan. So I'm basically gonna get in the 10th again. I think play some games. I think I'm gonna play the Space Marines as Astral Embers, and I might get rid of some of the Tyranid half. Or I might paint it to add to my Nids army, which I've still got most of left. I did sell the Tyrannofex with a big gun, which I'm a little bit disappointed about, because it literally, when I was playing against my friend Ed, I think once, definitely once, maybe twice, killed Mortarion. This Tyrannofex with a big gun killed Mortarion once or twice. And you can't say that about every Tyranid model that you've got, can you? Anyway, I'm kind of waffling now. Thanks for watching. You might see me post more videos now that I'm sort of, nights are getting darker, things are getting a bit more wintry outside, and yeah, maybe I'll get the brushes out, the battlefield out, maybe I'll make some more content, have some fun. All right, cool. Thanks for watching, and take care of yourself.